Okay, I have hit the go button.
All right, now we wait for the tubes.
It is receiving the contact. There it is.
Yep, we're live.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's our new magic trick to get us done up in this business here at Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays. So you just look at that screen and Bob's your uncle.
It's like, oh, crap, they're looking at me. I better do something.
That's, yeah, I mean, I haven't used YouTube streaming in a while. That's,
All right.
Hello, gorgeous
So,
people.
shit.
No, getting all flexed out, stretched out, getting ready for Weekly Daily Wednesdays. And a movie sign, yes indeed. It's terrifying, petrifying, stupefying, and all that other fun stuff. We're just doing the pre-show, getting all the last bits juggled, giggity, before we hit the record button and talk about some cool stuff that usually is not gaming related. Small exception this week, though.
This week, 2 weeks ago, the week before that, the week before that. Yeah. Every now and again, we sneak one in. Of course, this one is a big one, all things considered.
it is quite big, yes.
See, that's how I knew I had to put it in. Because even
Yeah.
Strider was like, yeah, I don't completely hate life, and it's okay.
Yeah, for someone as stoic
Yeah,
as Strider to
I
go
do-
on
I
G
do
Plus and say
hate
like,
life.
oh, holy crap, this is awesome.
No, I do hate life because I can't get it.
Do you not have all the games already?
No, I have none of the games
Hmm.
in this bundle.
I
So-
am missing the Steam World Heist and Beholder.
Yeah.
I played the other SteamWorld game, which was SteamWorld Dig,
SteamWorld Dig.
and I liked
Dig.
it a lot.
This one is different. This one is like a 2D XCOM. Turn-based
It's
shooter
very
thing.
different, but yeah.
Yeah.
The first one was like Metroidvania mixed with what's the name of this
Terraria?
digger game?
Terraria.
No, the one on the Dreamcast with the
Ziggurat? When, I don't know.
Mr. Digger,
Oh, that's right. I didn't have the
Mr. Driller.
the Goat Simulator DLC one. Yeah.
I didn't have Kentucky Route or this. Either of them have not piqued my interest. Have this, don't really need that, and really don't want turn-based anything. So,
Yeah, I pretty much want all of them. I have none of them, and I can't afford it. So I'm sad.
Yeah.
So yeah, it will be there for 2 weeks, and hopefully in 2 weeks I can get it.
Yeah, they're also going to do like the midway point adding more games. But we'll get to
Extra
that on the
games,
show.
yes.
Chances are, if they do what they usually do, it's just, oh, look, games from other bundles. There you go.
I was definitely thinking about that. About why the... Oh, man. I'll get into... I'll save that bit for the show, but yeah, I think now that we get up every morning and there's new Linux games and we get a Humble Bundle, it's like, I already got them all. Back billions of years ago, in the dark times, there weren't any games for Linux. A Humble Bundle came out. Games? What? What be this?
Yeah, shit ton of games. The first 4 of them is like, oh, crap, new games that weren't previously available on Linux. Awesome.
Yes, and you know what? People who don't, normal people who don't make a Linux gaming podcast, they usually don't have those games. So that's a good thing for them.
Well,
No
not
drugs.
just
I'm
people.
properly lit, son.
Wait, are those 2
Yeah,
large
there's
cups?
two. I just got it as an insulator. There came like 8 of them for like 88 cents, so I don't really trust these. Maybe I'll arch a couple of them and send them out to patrons.
It's not Venn's autograph. It's just Arch.
I'm going to scribble arch on it with that ginormous marker that I've used for all the arch cups. It gets me high as a kite every time I use it.
Oh, it's one of the smelly ones. Eh. I used to have one of those, but it was like the glass cleaning marker that had like the sponge at the top and the I don't know what exactly they put inside there, but it was very clearly alcohol based because you could just smell the ethanol coming out of it. Just,
Oh, this is like one of those old school, like made out of steel, and it's massive, 20 inches. And you open, you can smell it throughout the house. I'm sure this.
So one of those really old whiteboard markers.
I don't smell anything, but if I put a fresh coat on an arch cup before I do a show, that's what I'm smelling until like Tuesday.
Yeah, no. Even the glass cleaning thing come in a little spray bottle. Well, spray pen.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
It says one blocked message. That's weird.
You're welcome, Nemo. Just pay attention next time.
It says one blocked message again. It keeps saying one blocked message. I don't get it.
See, the beautiful thing about hipsters is not only that they go out of their way to like try to do something, they want to make sure you know about it. This is all you're witnessing right now.
They really get all up in your grill about it.
And I hate those bots so much that I might end up making one and inviting it to this room, and they will fight each other.
Or you're just going to make it trigger other bots.
That is exactly what Strider is going for. All right.
Come back.
They peel it off.
Yes, if you're just tuning in for the first time, we are simple people that are easily amused.
Oh, look, it's an image on the internet and it moves. Crap.
Show's canceled. We got something better.
Admittedly, I spent way too much time looking at those Lord of the Rings reimagined GIFs, where they just told the story in a sensible way. Where the guy that Sean Bean played, can't remember the name of the character.
I don't know.
Boromir. Boromir just suggests that they catapult the ring over the wall of Mordor, but they need a guiding system, and they send Frodo along with it.
I mean, they could just fly the eagles above the volcano and just drop the ring from there.
You see,
Yeah.
This is how you know. Tolkien was just an OG troll. He knew everyone was going to be like, "Fucking eagles? What? What? Did...
You had magical giant eagles that could carry people? Why didn't you use them from the start? What the hell?
And Tolkien's just writing it out. He's like, I knew that. I created the motherfuckers. I'm just putting that in there to piss you off, man.
Okay, there is one argument to be made, which is Gandalf the Grey could not control the eagles properly, at least not so many at once. He could only control the one. And it's only when he became Gandalf the White that he could control the whole flock of them.
And eagles are birds, so bird culture and everything, so yeah. They do whatever they want.
Caw! Deus Ex Machina in eagle form.
So
Oh, that's one of the things I liked about the latest Doctor Who. It's like, oh, you know that Deus Ex Machina you carry around in your pocket? We're just going to break it. Can't use it anymore for the rest of the episode. Deal with it.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to Game of Who, which is Jordan and I watching live the latest Doctor Who's, 10 minutes in, we called that fucking episode, man. Nailed it. Now, we don't watch it beforehand. We sit down and it's like riff tracks. You know, you can put it on and listen to it. Called it. Nailed it.
This is a very particularly clever episode. It's like the moment they explain what happened to the suits, like, right, okay.
Oh, it went more into the fact that how much money they were saving on props by like magical air shield that's invisible. Now that was either saving money on props. Sorry guys, we were getting a little off topic, or it was the prop department going, I bet we can get the writers to pull this shit. I mean, we can trick them into using these things.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to get a quick refill, and we're going to get on this.
All right. So this.
Before he was Gandalf the Grey, he was Gandalf the Plaid. So, was he a lumberjack or a hipster? I remember wearing plaid shirts in 1996, 7. I had a couple of them. Then everyone thought that they didn't look particularly good, and I kind of gave up on that.
Okay, so can someone try to explain me something? It appears that now movies get released in France and Europe in general before the US. Why is that? I mean, I was
How much earlier?
like a couple of weeks before. I've noticed that for Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and Alien Covenant.
I don't know.
Okay. I keep getting like video reviews for the movies, like in French, way before they're released here in the US.
Well, it could be that maybe YouTube video reviewers are now getting the same treatment as the regular movie critics.
I'm looking at the release dates on IMDb, and it says, like for Alien, the movie was released in France on the 10th, and it gets released in a few days here.
Okay, I don't know. I honestly, I'm right there with you. I always thought they came out first in the US.
It used to be like, I remember 20 years ago, we had to wait maybe 6 months before getting the movie. Like the movie would get released in the US, and then you would have to wait, and then you would get the movie in France. But now they got the movie in France before Los Angeles. Before where they make
there are a couple of reasons that could explain that. Let's see, copyright law isn't as completely batshit retarded in Europe as it is in the US. So
look at you going all the way around with the mental gymnastics. No, it's because piracy. You can't say, oh, you got to wait 4 months. It's like, no, I'm going to go watch the cam version.
But yeah, no, it's so in that case, since copyright law is a little more lenient in the EU, you could say that that's the reason they can get those licenses to get it out before they get it to the US. I don't know.
That's weird. All right. Okay, so Guardians, they got the premiere in the US first, but that was only the premiere in LA, and then they got those releases everywhere else, and then it came out in the US.
I don't know.
This is weird.
Okay. 30 minutes or more.
Yes.
Started dusting behind the box of business, the Tower of Power that powers all this yesterday, and it's like, you know what? No.
Did you pull it out and it was already covered in dust bunnies? It's like, no.
Say, if you can't see it. I'll get around.
Yeah, no, I have it sitting up on the desk so I can see when it gets dusty. It's just the power supply filter at the bottom of the case that I don't see very often, and that one's usually clogged by the time I pull it out.
Yeah, this is built into a corner with two full-size tower cases stacked on top of each other, surrounded by cables, wiring, and it's going to be a, I think, Thursday project.
Yep.
Okay. Tastes great. Let's go. And let's get over here. So, shoop, doop.
Ah, yes, Disney is currently pondering whether or not to pay the ransom of the leaked version of Pirates of the Caribbean, the new one.
Like that thing still won't print all the money. Coming up on Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays, it's a beautiful day. Beautiful day for the GPL because it has went to court. And it's nothing but good news, and OpenShot 232 has brought several new features. But the big question is, can we finally use it for this show?
We have yet another desktop VoIP client, but this time it comes to us via Telegram. And have you ever wanted a single unified application for loading ROMs into your phones and tablets? Well, there is a pretty comprehensive one available for Linux right now.
I do want it. We sure live in some weird times because soon you'll be able to install Ubuntu, Fedora, or OpenSUSE right from the Windows Store. And you're prepared to say goodbye to OpenCL, but don't worry, it's all for the best as it's being merged into Vulkan.
It's a great day for Linux, everybody. Let's get right into this. This is just wrong because we're talking about Ubuntu, along with Fedora and SUSE arriving in the Windows Store. I'm scared, man. Don't touch me.
It's almost there. I mean, the article I read said Ubuntu was already there. I checked. I opened up my VMware VM. And it wasn't there yet, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it will come. You won't have to be a Windows insider to get Ubuntu, or as I've come to call it, the Linux subsystem for Windows.
So, what do you think our end game here is? Is this Microsoft still trying to get? I mean, Windows 10 does have a lot more installs than I thought, if their numbers can be believed. Do they just really, like super serially, really want Windows 10 to become the all-in-one development platform, or?
They do. They very clearly do. And as much as people will have you believe that Windows is the second coming of Jesus Christ, we all know better than that. That's why you use Linux on a daily basis. But I am, much like you, Venn, I am still looking for like a silver lining. It's like, what is this good for exactly? Because this is Microsoft making it available to people and saying, look how much better you could work if you were using Linux instead of Windows to do your development on. All I can think of is like, will game developers specifically be able to use the Windows subsystem for Linux, or the other way around, whichever one you prefer, to test the Linux versions of their games without having to dual boot, spin up their own VM, get a spare laptop and test the game there? because that is a use case I would very much like to see. Well, it's the one and only use case I would like to see.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's not impossible. I think you can run Mesa on this system, but I'm not sure this will ever happen because this is targeted at web development. It's targeted at DevOps stuff. Like it's always easier to do like Node.js, to do Python in a Unix environment. And it's pretty painful to do that in Windows. So they integrated all the Linux ecosystem, which is very similar to what you would run on a server. They have this right into Windows. But video games, I think video games, they have that on Windows already. So yeah, maybe to do some testing, it would be useful, but it's not meant to do that. It's meant for web devs. And the stuff Windows is bad at.
Yeah, that's
right.
definitely a thing, man. Sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and let's see how that story develops. Okay.
And then you can talk to us about it through Telegram. Yes. So a while back, Telegram actually pushed out the voice calls to their mobile version. Say if you're running an Android phone and you install Telegram, you could use it to make calls the same way you could already do it with WhatsApp, that other one. So now, if you have the desktop version of Telegram installed as well, you can use it to make regular audio calls as well. And that's good. They say they make claims that it's secure, crystal clear, and AI powered. AI powered? Yeah, that made me curious too. So I started reading into it, and their AI is literally just a system that checks how your bandwidth is doing and attempts to adjust the audio quality. So even if your bandwidth gets really low, it will have already adjusted the audio quality so that the transition doesn't look particularly bad. From one moment you sound fine to the next moment you're sounding like a complete robot. So that's fine, I guess. Yeah, that's it, really. It's good. We'll have to try it to let you know whether or not the audio quality is all that good, even though they seem to claim that it is.
It'll be interesting to see if it can pass the stone challenge. But
Yeah.
if it's intelligent with the way it breaks down, and we downloaded, I guess it's to point out, that's the first thing I asked Pedro. I was like, is this some Electron rap BS? And he's like, no, it's not. It turns out it's legit. It's not Electron nope sauce. So maybe we'll have a go with it, and it's going to be an exciting year because Discord just announced, I think last night or yesterday, definitely in one of their little promo videos. Not only do they Discord currently, they do voice, but they're going to be adding videos. So that will be interesting.
All right.
A federal court.
GPL.
Oh man, check with the judge indeed. Yeah, this is just like straight up rolled down. What happened? Well, this company, Hancom, they used Ghost Script, English Venn, in a project. They never released the source. They didn't even pay the licensing fee, which was available. And, you know, this is not a little company. They reported like $86.3 million in revenue in 2015. Yeah, man, the creators of Ghost Script, like, hey, you got to do something about this. And they kind of took him to court because, you know, the enforceability of, you know, just open source licenses like, you know, just GPL, the new GPL or Stay Away Stallman. It's always been like, what's going to happen when this goes to court? Well, we kind of found out because Hancom, they issued a motion to straight up just dismiss this on the grounds that the company didn't sign anything. And my first thought was, you genius, expletive deleted. Can you get away with that? But apparently not, because Judge Corley told them basically to GTFO and Stufu. So, short story long, yeah, I think they're going to get sued. Well, they're definitely going to get sued, and this is really good because it will send a very strong message to a lot of companies that know they've used GPL source code and have, you know, tried to treat it like a BSD license.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. This is step one only, because this will go to court, and if that particular case ends up coming up GPL, cool. But again, this is just step one for now. It's a win, sort of, It is very much a good step at least, but it is just the one. We need to see it all the way through.
Is this the first time that the GPL got enforced? Because I'm pretty sure there were some cases where the GPL has been enforced, and people have to understand that the GPL and other open source licenses are legal documents. The FSF has its lawyers. It's not something. It's not a piece of text that you add to your open source projects, so they are like pretty or anything. It's a real, actual legal document. And some people, they just, oh, it's free. It doesn't matter. It's open source. We do whatever you want.
Yeah,
with it.
but
Well,
it never
it's not the
actually
case.
went to a full-on lawsuit case. So you didn't really have a precedent, at least not that I'm aware of.
I think the thing here is, I'm sure we're all wrong. We look forward to your messages.
Probably.
There's a contact button at linuxgamecast.com. I think that was the first time it's in federal court, question mark?
Yes, legal precedent.
Yes,
it's important.
there's a first thing here, but it's not the first time that the GPL has been legally enforced, because that's what it is. It's a legal document. So, I mean, if it hadn't been the case, that would have been worrisome, because it would have shown that the GPL had no value, and that's not what we want. We want to show that, yes, it's a real thing. You have to respect the terms of the contract, and if you don't, then you're going to get in trouble.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah, this happened. Basically, Intel saw that Ryzen 7s were out, and they were kind of upselling, I believe is the word we're looking for. So lo and behold, Intel being Intel walked all the way to the back of their warehouse, dusted off a box, and like, all right, I guess we finally need to use these i9s we made like 9 years ago. But man, we were really hoping to stretch out that i7 for another 3 or 4 years, right?
They tried.
Yeah, I mean, cool. It's a CPU. It seems to be a good one, that is. It's going to replace the i7 as the high-end models. And if it's properly priced, not targeted at enthusiasts, I might bite one in 2020.
Strider.
Well, I mean,
Still
look
thinking
at this,
Intel.
man. Look at this. I mean, we're looking at 140 watt TDP on these things, man. So yeah,
Admittedly, the leaks that we've seen and the announcements that AMD made with their new, we will probably be talking about that on the Saturday show, the 16 core 32 thread parts. Those are from anywhere from 125 to 155 watts. So yeah, they're competing now. But the lowest end one of the i9s, as they're calling it, which is just the Skylake X and the Kaby Lake X variants. So they will very much be the enthusiast, as Strider so much hates that term. They will most definitely be priced.
I mean, 16 megs of cache, 13 for the i9 7900. The 7920 is going to be their $2,000 part, probably. I'm guessing, speculation there.
Yeah.
And Skylake X is what we're calling it. And no, these are not enthusiast parts. I do not believe. In much the way Threadripper, stupid name AMD, you should have called it Threadripper. That would have been better. They're made for basically simulations, multimedia production, and running a bunch of VMs, man.
That's the thing. Intel already has a line for those CPUs. They call them the Xeons.
Yes, exactly.
These are called i9s. These are very much, or at least they are targeting them.
Let me rephrase that. What I was saying is what these things will be used for, because they will be cheaper than the Xeons. This is what this is what Intel is introducing, something, because the R7s, like with the gaming performance, people buying R7s really don't give two Fs. I mean, in bulk, about their gaming performance. They're using it for work and getting stuff done. Intel, the one good thing you can say about the R7s, it pushed this out earlier. I don't believe for a second Intel wanted to have a lower.
Yeah, it could be the case, and chances are they were very much rushed along when they saw what AMD could do with even just the R7s, because, okay, sure, they still took them in single-threaded performance, but when it came to multi-threaded performance, AMD just mopped the floor with Intel. So they kind of have to step it up.
Well, the
And
price performance thing is definitely there, and I had to rub my eyes because regardless of where you come down on whatever arbitrary BS camp you want to live in, competition is a good thing. Strider, what do you hate it?
Yeah, I mean, this is. I just hope that it won't be one of the extra high end that no one can afford. If it's just like the i7, what the i7 is today, then it's perfect. You know, you want to pay like maybe $350 for a high-end CPU. That's the perfect. That's what I paid for my i7, and that's what I'm willing to put in future purchases. So that's, yeah, I do hope that it will be in that same ballpark.
Well, it remains to be seen. But let's go from Intel's announcements to some magic. It's the Magic Device tool being developed by Marius Quebec, the other Quebec, and he has put out version 1.0. It's on GitHub. You can just clone the Git, run it. It comes pre-built. And what it lets you do is it lets you install Ubuntu Mobile, yes, the dead operating system. It lets you install a Cyanogen mod or Lineage OS. You can also install Modu OS, Sailfish OS, Phoenix OS, all manner of different versions of Android specific, like
Now,
the
I will
AOS.
say this. I'll get around to poking fun at it later. You do not need to root your device.
Nope.
This is automatic.
No, you don't. All you need to do is have the bootloader. You don't even have to have it unlocked. You just have to be able to unlock it yourself, because there are some phones, as is the case with Nori's phone, that they don't let you unlock the bootloader unless it's already unlocked on a carrier level, so you could use whatever carrier you want with your phone. So that is an issue. If you have one of those phones, this tool won't help you. But anything else that you can lock and unlock the bootloader at will, have at. It will just let you do it. Now, they do have a list of supported devices, but that is more for people wanting to use Ubuntu Mobile. It's just the usual Ubuntu stuff like the BQ Aquaris, the Meizus, the LG Nexus 5, and the 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the 4 is there too. The Nexus 7, the OnePlus One, and the Fairphone 2.
I'm just going to go ahead and
Chances
say
are-
this, man. All right, cool tool. All right, it's neat. It's simplified.
Yeah.
If you want to mess around, you want to put one of the nightmarish Linux distributions on your mobile phone. This is why we're talking about it. Have fun with that. But if you need a tool like this to put Linux or another ROM on your Nexus device, hand in your geek card, son.
No, I will disagree a lot about this. I mean, the Android world has been a mess until recently. And I mean, where was this in 2012? You know, when everything was a mess. Or even when was this 1 week ago when I needed to reinstall Lineage OS on my Nexus 4 because I had made the mistake of installing a Chroma OS, which was made by a punk kid who doesn't know anything. Now I have everything working perfectly with Android Nougat, perfectly stable, so I'm not going to mess around with this tool. But I still tried it with my phones far away from my computer, and yeah, it did what it was supposed to do. I mean, it has some text-based menus, and it will let you choose between your Android versions and everything. And for some reason, it doesn't surprise me that it comes from the Ubuntu Touch community, because, you know, the Android community is kind of garbage. And yes, it is. I mean, all the XDA developers and where you have to trust things on Rapidshare, and this is barely documented, and they don't explain you how to do things. And Venn says, oh, you need explanation on how to do it? Well, it took me a couple of years to understand it because it was so messy and so poorly explained. And then just now, it got better. Now that you have Lineage OS, we have OpenGApps, we have TWRP, that all made the situation much, much better. But because now you can actually ignore everything on XDA devs and like all the messy things. So yeah, I mean, you might want to do the things the hard way, you know, because you're a real man. But this kind of tool is like, it's neat. I mean, it's something that you want. It's just cool.
Well, as a lazy person, I do very much enjoy the fact that this combines both ADB and fast boot into a single unified UI. Admittedly, it is still console based. They could have done a GUI, but as long as as long as it works, I don't mind it being console based. It's all unified. You can do it right from there. You just pick the options, run it. It does its thing, and you're good. So again, as a lazy person, neat.
I'll just stick with using ADB from my command line, like a real man. Manly things. Hey, check this out. OpenShot 232 is out. A couple of new things: undo, redo, crash, transform, crash. A lot of crashing. Lib OpenShot detection, reduce file size. They got a big full list of changes. But what you're looking for is, I think the big thing in this is lib OpenShot detection is kind of the main thing, because you would have basically two main components, lib OpenShot and OpenShot Qt, your graphical interface. OpenShot Qt was not checking necessarily lib OpenShot, so it could get out of sync and get more haywire than it normally is. I decided to try it because I really want this to work. I'm still using OpenShot 1.4. Yeah, I know about KDN Live. Save me that mail. Because OpenShot 1.4 just works. But I tried this out and installed it from the PPAs, and also tried the app image because I wanted to give it a fair shake in case something was jacked one way or the other. I mean, this thing is just like through some regular videos. Just going through it and scrubbing it, chuggy. I mean, then I fed it this show's video, just this recording. No, granted, it's HQAF, and you can figure out what that means. It is laughably bad. Like, you can scroll and count 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. It tries to get back over to there. It does have the title animation for the Blender, which needs a very specific version of Blender that was made on an alternate Tuesday at 6 p.m. You'll have to look it up. But somehow it only has 6 fonts available to use in the title maker, which I know a lot of people don't care, but it's a certain part of our jank that we do on our Saturday show that I do care about, and it's completely unusable at its current state.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, this show and the Saturday show will be produced on OpenShot 1.4 until the end of times, right?
Yes.
Or, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure you are one of the biggest users of OpenShot in the world. So I was wondering, what is your relationship with Jonathan Thomas, which is a developer of OpenShot? Because I'm pretty sure he could get some feedback from you.
Oh, he could, but, that would require youtube.com/Linux Gamecast. Hit that subscribe button. I give him plenty of feedback, but yeah, there's a perfectly good product made by OpenShot. And trust me, right now it's looking like I will eventually be going to KDN Live, or maybe DaVinci. Pedro, when was the last time you opened up a nonlinear video editing tool for the internet?
KDN Live 2 weeks ago to help Nori with something.
Mm-hmm.
But I just used KDN Live because it's not anywhere near as crashy as your experiences with OpenShot 1.4 are. And judging by what you've been saying over the past couple of updates that we've seen for OpenShot 2, KDN Live is good. Yep.
No, in all fairness, we're feeding it massive files and a lot of making it do stuff it's not supposed to. So it is extra things, but we'll keep you updated, and maybe it'll be super cool, kind of like Vulkan.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. So you might know about OpenCL, which is the compute library for using your GPU to do heavy calculations. It's the same thing as CUDA, but open source. And OpenCL is going away. It's going away in favor of Vulkan. So soon both APIs will be merged together into a single API, which is Vulkan. So that's kind of cool. It makes sense because OpenCL was it was loosely based on OpenGL. Well, not really, because it's nothing to do with graphics or anything, but it's the same era and it's the same way of doing things, I guess. And now to have just that one API, that's just good stuff. What it needs now is like higher level APIs to do specific stuff. So for OpenCL, for example, you want to have like machine learning stuff, or I don't know, like science stuff.
You don't even need to go that far. You could just use the example that we are the most used to as Linux users, which is when you had OpenGL, Ryan C. Gordon put a lot of work into SDL to make sure that you could get all around the complexity of OpenGL and have a higher level system that you could use to do everything in OpenGL with minimal coding. That's called SDL, but Ryan C. Gordon said that probably not going to do that with Vulkan because that would just defeat the purpose. The purpose of Vulkan is, its primary purpose anyway, it's to be a lower level language that would provide a much closer access to the hardware with lower latency,
it's less driver overhead. It's pretty cool. So what does this do for me as an end user?
Well, right now, nothing, because it still hasn't been integrated with Vulkan, but it's OpenCL. Let's say if you're into coin mining, you would be using Vulkan for coin mining in the future.
Exactly.
What this does for the future, though, it's really awesome. The more Vulkan supports different things, and introducing the compute layer is a big thing, the more people learn about it, and higher the chances are that we'll see Vulkan take over rendering, well, basically everything in userland. And I still want to see a Vulkan replacement for GLX, or if we are actually serious about getting rid of X, something along those lines, but for Wayland.
It could definitely be a cool thing. It'll be fun to see how this fleshes out, and because I still have a little bit of Microsoft hate buried in my 9-year-old self. My favorite part about this article from Scott McShone was, DX12 can't do this. So,
Yeah, I'm also curious about the future of CUDA, because CUDA is the proprietary NVIDIA equivalent for OpenCL. But now, will they go for Vulkan, or will they keep CUDA, or will they go in somewhere in between and do a Vulkan-based version of CUDA? I don't
see,
know.
what we need is an additional standard to help unify.
XKCD 927?
Possibly. Hey, man, before we get out of here, let's talk about the Humble Bundle.
Oh, yes, that one bit of gaming news that we have every other week or so. It's the new Humble Indie Bundle 18, which comes with Ziggurat, pretty good game. We've thrown chairs at it. Windward, also a pretty good game. I've played a lot of it. SeaWorld Heist, that's one of the ones I don't have. Kentucky Route Zero, which won a bunch of awards a while back. Beholder, which I've never heard of. Some Goat Simulator Goatee DLC. And at the $13 level, you get some Owlboy, which was a very, very good old school, I don't want to call it hipster pixel, but it was very much retro-inspired 2D platformer where you played as Owlboy and you could fly around and carry your friends and do things. It was actually a pretty good game. A very good 2D platformer that gave it more than one chair in the fun category. So yeah, but no, it's good. Right now, the average is right around $7.48 or €6.76 if you're on this particular side of the pond. So make your pick.
One of the things that kind of threw me off is when you choose where your money goes. It's like, really, the Humble tip's larger than the charity tip? Ooh. Hey, good, bad. I just went, ooh, that's all I said. Yeah, man, $11 off Owlboy. I definitely picked that up. Strider's like, well, that's how it works. And to which I will retort to you, Strider, wow, you just blew my mind, man. I had no idea.
I mean, unless you really, really hate all the other games and think their developers don't deserve to be paid. No,
or you already have those other games.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't have any of those games, and I want them all.
Okay,
and
that's your use case. Anecdotal evidence. Called it.
Someone just buy Strider the Humble Bundle, so we all still Come on. Okay. What do we got up next? We need to thank the lovely people making this show possible.
Yes, we
right?
do. Lovely, lovely people. If you like what you've seen so far and you want to throw some money at our heads, if nothing else, to get us to shut up, you can do so. Patreon.com/LinuxGamecast. You can pick between one wet stinky caches every week, all the way up to, well, let's 25 wet stinky caches a week if you must. That would be awesome. But thank you all very, very much of those of you who already throw us some money, and we actually have a couple of people this week that did. Carl Schneider and Erod20.
Well, Carl Snyder kind of rolled in, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm digging this." He's like, "Bam, here you go." I understand that you guys are not taking advertisement, so I can trust what you're saying. He didn't really say that. I'm putting words in his mouth. Just stick with me. Just stick with me, Carl. We're going good places together. And, we're able to do that, to get new stuff, cool things, and all that business. But maybe Patreon's not your bag, baby. That's why we got these fantastic Amazon affiliate links. You click on the one in your corresponding country. We get a little taste of that action, and that's starting to add up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for that. If you can think about it, next time you buy, you're going to buy the stuff anyway. Hook us up. Amazon wish list. I got to get to that. Because that's where Erod20 comes in, because this mysterious void of darkness that you see behind me is now courtesy of this. What I'm holding up is a 10-foot adjustable muslin backdrop support stand. So, and yes, you see a green screen, which we don't currently have yet, so don't even think about it. That's a horrible idea. That's totes not on our wish list. Yes, it is. Don't buy it. It's a bad idea. Thank you for that, Erod20. That is awesome, because I had a MacGyvered system, because we're basically trying to build a multi-$1,000 studio on no budget whatsoever, but just trying to make some fun things happen. But with the Amazon affiliate links, man, Reptilian Brain kind of hit us up. And on the Patreons, also a Patreon, beautiful guy. He's like, "Hey guys, I just made $40 Canadian dollars. It's like $6.50 American. Purchase using the Canadian Amazon link. I hope that some of that money reach you. Keep up the good work. Really enjoying the show. Thank you, sir." Reptilian Brain, who I always want to call Reptilian Brian.
Yeah, it's
That's
Reptilian
awesome.
Brian.
But yeah, man, pretty cool. And thanks for everyone for making this possible. And I feel dirty enough shilling. Can we go on and do something?
Yes,
else?
let's have
All right.
some pie to cleanse our palate. Well, the people's palate. Yep, this week, and as is tradition in the Slice of Pie, we have a bit of news from Hackaday, and it's a really neat project that gives everyone the wrong kind of chills. So, as you see, that there is a Raspberry Pi 3 dunked in mineral oil. That's not water, that's mineral oil, and the Raspberry Pi 3, as you can see from the LED, it's working, and it's got a 140mm fan off to the side, kind of cycling the mineral oil around it to keep it cool. That is, I mean, that would be a good way to keep it cool, especially considering that he did, what was it, a 1.45 gigahertz overclock to the Raspberry Pi 3. So that's considerable, and you would very much need liquid cooling at that point. The video is one of those. You're
forgetting the most important part. He put YOLO LEDs in there, so you know.
Yeah, because he said that the effect looked really nice in the oil. That's debatable, but sure. I mean, it illustrates the fact that it is very much suspended in fluid. And this is the part that really, because he turns it on, and then there he goes, mineral oil, and he starts pouring it in, and he's like, "No, that looks too much like water. Stop.
It's exactly my reaction. I mean, I've seen this done in the past with actual PCs, like on ATX boards, and every time I see that, I say, "No, don't do that." I mean, it just feels wrong. But I mean, now it works. I mean, I know that mineral oil is non-conductive, but still, I mean, it's not going to do any good for him. I mean, no, whatever you want.
Just admit it, man. You saw the abyss when you were a child, and it scarred you permanently. That's the only reason you could. Mineral was a lot cheaper than I think we used Florinert from 3M when we did this, and that stuff was like wicked expensive. It was like £100 for a little jar, and it evaporates if you look at it sideways. So yeah, don't buy that. Use mineral oil if you want to do something like. If you want to turn something really small and portable then make it really big. I think that's a good way to go.
No,
about
he
it.
actually got one of those plastic aquariums, flipped it upside down, dremeled some holes into the casing, and filled it up with mineral oil.
All right. Hey, that's a thing. Hey, maybe you're thinking about making your own mineral oil case to scar Strider. That'd be great. Send us in some videos, but let us know about it.
Yes, you can do so by going over to linuxgamecast.com/contact, or just clicking the contact button on the nav bar. Make sure to pick LWDW from the little drop-downy selection box. Otherwise, you'll be sending some
just
hate
a
mail.
little confused. Every week you always /content. Is that how you go to web zones? You just type them out?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
Because the address bar is already there. I could just type it. I don't want to move my hand to the... Again, lazy.
Anyway.
But yeah, so yeah, you can just fill out the form. It's easy enough. Make sure to point out every single thing that we got wrong. Or if you're like one of our bits of feedback this week, if you watch the entire uncut version of LWDW, you can also leave us some comments on the things we say before and after the show is done. So this week, Christoph, he said something.
Yeah, man. He's like, hey, guys. Hi, guys. It comes to me that Red Hat and current owners of SUSE can buy shares of Canonical. Interesting situation. P.S. Intel, AMD, NVIDIA, Alphabet, Dell, HP, Lockheed, and Martin, Boeing, SpaceX. You get the idea. Strider, why does any of this matter? Because 2 years from now, Microsoft's just going to buy Canonical.
It might be a possibility, but yeah, all those companies buying shares of Canonical, that's kind of the point of going public.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what you would expect. Yeah. As for the Microsoft thing, first thing, I don't believe it will happen. I'm pretty sure Canonical will remain its own thing and not a Microsoft subproduct. And if it did ever happen, they can't take Ubuntu. They could take the trademark, yes, but you only have to take one of those spin-off distros.
It'll be so glorious, though. It'll have the Windows startup sound with your Windows X server and...
No, the idea of Microsoft buying Ubuntu, or at least holding a sizable majority in shares, or at least a controlling share amount in Canonical, for them to be able to do that, I'm kind of with Strider.
Here's the real thing. Shuttleworth is going to keep at minimum 51% of it.
Yeah.
Because it took him a long time even to consider killing off a lot of the moonshot projects. That's the type of guy he is. I respect him for that. I absolutely do. So, yeah, I just threw that in there to mess with Strider. But, yeah, that's what happens when companies go public, man. So, up next.
Up next, we have some meta feedback. Monolalia, she dropped us a comment on the uncut version of last week's LWDW, and she says, as another non-native speaker, I find Pedro to be far easier to understand than Venn. Monolalia, thank you. I appreciate that. But according to even the Google captions, if you turn them on and you hear Venn talk, Google captions is pretty spot on. It might miss a couple of words that Venn says every now and again, but it will miss 90% of what I say. So, yeah.
Well, the thing is, you haven't invented a language that is loosely based on English. So that might be one of the reasons why.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. What are you trying to imply by that?
I'm trying to say that you have your own expressions that usually other people don't say. So that's why. It's not about the diction, or because people love your voice. You've received a lot of feedback based on just on your voice. But
stop making love to that microphone, Venn.
It's exactly that. But sometimes you say words that you have to hear them a few times before you get what is being said. Also, that is all wrong, because Pedro is a native English speaker, at least according to my mom, who is an English teacher.
When you wrote that in the show notes that your mom is a native English speaker, all I did was point at you and go, "What happened, man? What happened?"
What happened? 35 years in France.
Okay.
That's what happened.
All right.
I mean, yeah, all things considered, I think both me and Strider do a good enough job of speaking English considering our upbringings. I mean, I will eventually live Portugal if everything goes to plan at the end of this month. But yeah, no, it's thank you.
Remember, if you at any point run into Portugal on the streets in the UK, in Britannia, act like you don't understand a word he's saying. Just turn your head sideways and go, okay? It'll be brilliant. Hey, this was fun. Let's do it again next week. But until then, if you ever want to talk to me, I'm at Venn Stone on Twitter, plus Venn Stone, Google Plus, all over the internet. Say horrible things or nice things and all that, and I'll try to get back to you.
And apparently I'm a native English speaker. My name is Pedro Mathieu, and you can find me at Unaccounted For on Twitter or plus Pedro Mathieu on Google Plus.
And I'm Mathieu Commando. You can find me on Twitter at Striker or on Google plus Mathieu Commando. And also on Chris.net.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. Actually, we'll be back Saturday.
Yes.
Tomorrow. Yeah,
actually, you will be back tomorrow, probably.
Well, yeah. Let's see. What do we do on Saturday again?
Saturday we do that actual Linux gaming podcast thing. It's got a lot of foul language in it, so if you're one of those people, just don't bother. You're not going to enjoy yourself.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Not too bad. What do we end up with? 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's... I was looking at the clock. It was going to inevitably end around there.
Boop.
Yeah. Saturday is the show proper. It's when we can go out and say exactly what we feel with no filter. Well, it's the 2 shows proper because you get the if you're a $1 Patreon, you also get the pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
Where we pre all over the internets. There are spoilers, though. There are plenty of spoilers there, though.
Well, there's spoilers, but all the spoilers are time-stamped in the podcast description.
Ah, okay.
So you don't have to worry about running into any of that. Plus, there are always like big notices and stuff on the post itself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there are like 20 plus hours of podcasts you've never heard of. You're not rocking with the patrons, but that's cool, man. Each to their own. We're just trying to create something, to give back.
Yeah.
And
if you're Strider level struggling for cash right about now, it's cool.
Well,
I say Strider. I could have easily used myself for that analogy.
I've always been of the thing. That's one thing I don't like is I'll see people put up like Patreons. So what are you doing? Asking for money? Which have no illusions. We're asking for money, but we're like we got a bunch of cool stuff too. That we want to dance for our money. That's yeah.
I mean that's the point. You give us money, you get something in return, and if the things we do in return for other people's money is something that you like, by all means, throw $1 at our heads. Grab 4 quarters out of your wallet right now and throw them as hard as you can. Not at your monitor though.
No.
That's going to be more expensive.
Yeah, don't throw anything at your monitor, unless it's a soft thing.
Good old soft monitors, man. I wish they still made those.
Wasn't there supposed to already be a phone with those foldable screens out
like
now?
Yeah, they keep talking. They keep bringing that up once in a while, and I never see them.
I forget who it was, but it might have been old explodey Samsung that said they're releasing a squishable phone. Whatever.
Yeah, that's the one I heard.
And it's already in the product channel right now, so I mean it's made is what I'm saying.
They're just making sure it doesn't blow up.
Basically. Well, I mean, if you want 100% guarantee or like 99.99% guarantee that something's not going to explode on you, good time to buy a Samsung.
Oh yeah, no, they got themselves burned both literally and figuratively.
I'm sure they put some more QA now into their products.
It's like, right, let's just test this battery before we actually build the phones around it. Okay. Rise and shine, Dr. Freeman. Rise and shine.
I think Shruggy bought a BlackBerry. It was pretty cool.
The fake Android Blackberries? Or the actual Blackberries with the keyboard and everything?
Well, you know, Android BlackBerry, but it was...
Yeah.
He was looking for something with a keyboard on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I really shouldn't be saying anything about people buying Blackberries because...
You should see him too, and riding around on that insufferable fixie. Smoking
Android
his American
flip
cigarettes.
No, it's, the thing I really like about this phone is battery life. What's that? Not getting too many calls, not sending too many texts. About 2 weeks of battery.
Yeah, that's not exactly something you can curl up in bed with and be like, this will entertain me, because Snakes gets old.
No, it isn't, but it's something you can keep in your pocket as acting as an LTE router and doing that on the tablet. Yeah. Because it does have LTE. The camera sucks, though. It's a 1.3 megapixel camera that you get back here.
I'm sure the packaging says technically has camera.
It also technically has front-facing camera, which is 0.5 megapixels.
Okay. I was about to say, there was like this Arcos 8 that I bought that said, 720p front-facing camera. It's like, what's the megapixels? Like 0.9. I was like, yeah, technically it's 1280 by 720. All right, you're stretching it to that format. Got it. Understood.
Actually, the camera on the Shield tablet is decent enough. It's only 5 megapixels, but that's a good sensor. It can do 1080p 30 FPS video and 720p 60 FPS video. So, yeah.
It was back when I was having adventures in corporate land, they bought me a Curve. BlackBerry Curve, I think it was. It was before the iPhone came out, and it was some hot sauce. It was the most expensive thing they had because I hated myself for doing corporate stuff, so it was my way of sticking it to them. But it had a great timer delay on the photo. I've told the story, so you could set like a 2-second timer and like launch your phone at somebody's head. And they'd catch it, and it'd get a great picture of them going, oh no, then they'd be angry, then they'd throw it right back to you, and you're like, oh, thanks. It was a flawless system.
Now, I was one of those idiots that bought idiot, I say idiots, but at the time that it was just the best thing around. Bought an iPhone 3G. The cheapest, I guess we could call it the cheapest version. It had 8 gigabytes of internal storage, no SD cards, no nothing. It was just those 8 gigs and nothing else.
Yeah, but it looked like an iPhone. That's why they're sold. They tried to release the 5C, which were the plastic ones.
Mm-hmm.
And those didn't sell because people knew. It was like, oh.
Yeah, no, the 3Gs, they were like the first iPhones proper that worked, that had supported the baseband that Portugal, Spain, the UK, and a bunch of other places use. So it was one of the few iPhone models, at least the early few, that actually made it to Portugal. And I bought it. It was 400 euros for that stupid phone, but it lasted me a good 6 years.
400, yeah.
The only Apple product, I have a Macintosh Motorola like desktop in the tech closet that I found when I was cleaning. I don't know whose it is. I was up to
Just found a
something
Macintosh.
because you know the old Macs, the system board went into basically an oversized ISA slot. I mean, the whole thing just clunked and it's missing. So I don't know exactly what transpired, but I ended up with a case. Maybe I was going to do a build in it or something. I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
something I
never-
still want to do, and it's why I have that. Hold on.
This makes for great TV.
Yeah, I've never had an Apple product, but I would like to play around with a G4 just to install Morph OS on it.
I had to
So
work.
this
Okay.
is an Intel embedded LGA 1155 Mini ITX motherboard.
Mm-hmm.
It uses SODIMMs. It supports the regular 1155 pin CPUs. You probably want to use a low-powered one because the only way you're going to get power into it is through this external power supply adapter.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you can find a converter for these 2 pins at the top here. Yeah. So this was one of the spare motherboards that we used at Bidirco to build the sort of all-in-one touchscreen TVs that basically just acted as dumb terminals. They did some computing locally, but for the most part, they were just dumb terminals with a touchscreen. And this just went right into the back of it. And this one is working. I want to build something with it, so it's been sitting here. I actually wanted to get like an Xbox One or a PS4 shell and build it in there.
No. All right. This is going to take a little foreplanning and like a lot of shipping, but you need to find a cray. Put inside that.
What's
Is
a
that going
cray?
to be expensive?
Pedro doesn't know what a cray is.
No, I don't.
Everyone, you have my permission to publicly shame and mock Pedro.
Yes, mock me. Just tell me what it is while you're doing it.
Nope.
Uh,
Sorry, Mr. Lazy Pants. You're going to have to Google that yourself.
okay, what's the spelling?
C-R-A-Y, like cray cray.
Okay, cray. Ooh! Okay, yeah, supercomputer. Oh, that's what they're called. Right. I've seen those. Yeah, the big ones, yeah. That you could literally sit around them. Uh-huh. Okay.
Man, all right. See, it was a bad joke to begin with, but after we've had to take that trip, it's just painful. I'll be back in a second. I gotta cut the fan on.
Yeah, no, that's way too big. I want something tiny that I can build this into because that's the big selling point of these motherboards. Like, nothing is taller than the USB ports. So, I mean, sure, if you're going to put a desktop class processor on it, you're going to have to account for the heatsink, but it's always going to be one of the low profile ones.
Pretty sure you can do something with that.
Yeah, it's an oversized Raspberry Pi is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
That's the thing. We only started using these motherboards for the terminals because the Raspberry Pi 3 wasn't out at the time, and the Raspberry Pi 2 didn't have enough oomph to run the thing that we needed.
Does it do video decoding? Like, can you play MP4 with it? Can you play videos on it?
No, the system isn't actually working anymore. The company, about 2 months after they had to let me go, they went under.
Yeah, but the board itself is still...
Oh yeah, no, the motherboard can do. It supports, let's see, 1155. The most powerful processor was an i7 dual core i7 with hyperthreading, like almost laptop part, but it fit into the 1155 socket.
Okay, so you can do pretty much anything with it.
Yeah, you can. You just don't have a VGA out on the motherboard. You only get the HDMI's. No VGA, no DisplayPort, no nothing. You do
Well,
have Ethernet.
HDMI is
Yeah, you just get
yeah,
HDMI.
HDMI is what you want. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a bunch of SO DIMMs from my from the netbook and from the calculator, just everything. So I just need a processor and a case to build it in.
You don't really
And,
need a case. Come on.
I don't really need a case, but I want it.
I mean, I have never needed a case. I was like, I got a perfectly good wall right here. I can surface mount it.
Bread box it, yeah.
And remember, kids, this is something that really irritates me. It doesn't irritate me. It irritates me that people might still be damaging. I've never fried anything with static, which, considering some of the big iron I've worked on, surprising because I don't ground shit. All right, those bags.
Use these bags.
Those bags, only the static shit is on the inside. The outside, not so much at all.
No.
I see people use them to set components down on for safety, and I'm like, doing it wrong. If you want to do that, flip them inside out.
Yeah, the inside is the anti-static bit. The outside, you can see from the sheen that there's probably some metal going on over there. So,
Truggy, you got to, but that's an ability. It's a boss battle to get that ability. It's a stupid hard boss battle, too. As opposed to the easy boss battle in Hollow Knight, unlike Southern Sanctuary. That stupid boss you beat.
that stench most foul. That it's so freaking easy. Now there is one boss that is stupidly hard, which I don't know if we will get to it on the next stream, but probably because we're going to the Temple of the Old Gods. Yeah, the sorcerer NPC mentioned the Temple of the Old Gods. That's where we want to go now. But yeah, it's one of the bosses. That place has at least 3 boss fights, 2 of which are optional. But yeah, the one of the optional boss fights is relatively easy. The other one is stupidly hard.
Katana, no, I didn't.
Maru, so which one is this one?
I'm so horribly behind on all the things.
That's one of the mobile ones, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the convergence. Oh yeah, that was the reason why I wanted to get Nexus 5, I think. This is convergence done right.
Your food is your
Yeah,
PC.
yeah, it's that one. Yeah, we covered this.
So yeah, I mean, if I need to replace my Nexus 4, I'll go for Nexus 5 and try this one. Mario OS.
The only thing that was kind of getting me iffy with Solus on the laptop was like, I will have to use this laptop when I move, so I can do the show, assuming I have internet connection in time, or at least before I get this system shipped there. So I need old Skype to work unless we find something in between this time, but I got old Skype to work. It was just a matter of setting up a library folder and having to go through LDD to Skype executable and go library by library, checking what Solus had in its repos and what it didn't, and then downloading the ones it didn't.
Or you could make a Skype snap package.
That's what I suggested to Ike.
Yeah.
It's like, look, I already did the hard work. That's what you need. If you want to make an app image out of that or a flat pack, be my guest.
I'm sure Microsoft's going to be very happy about redistributing that. 3 minutes into that process, I would have already been booting, or I would have been in the process of installing like Ubuntu in a VM.
I'm not
I
sure
do
about
have the SSD that is currently in the netbook does have KDE Neon, which is Ubuntu 16.04. So push comes to shove, I just pull the SSD from the netbook, put it in there, do it. But now I got it. I got old Skype working with Solus, so that's fine. And Solus is for everything they did differently. They did it for a reason, and it shows. It boosts
just look at those XML bitches, man.
Yes, libxml2 in 50k increments. That's one thing I still have to run. It's like to compare it with KDE Neon and Ubuntu Mate, like all of the CPU heavy stuff in games. Just run
I'm pretty sure. So I don't know about the actual results, but I'm pretty sure you won't get much of a difference in performance. Because, you know,
that was Ike's big selling point at the time. It's like, oh, look how much faster we are.
It's faster in boot times and startup times, and it's lightweight. It's done right, but when
it's a GTK 3 based desktop that manages to be lightweight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's another thing I was going to rip on OpenShot about. Dang, I forgot. Did I say that out loud? Hi, everyone.
Yes.
Using Qt, the Qt.
OpenShot Qt.
Let me show you. I'll demonstrate for the beautiful people watching us live. This motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
This is Windows 3.11 wrong done wrong.
Do you have?
I think you can fix that.
Qt4 config installed.
I need recently used. I need a documents folder. I would have to drill down every single time I want to add one thing. So I'll go to media. Let's go to Crunch. Let's add a thing. Then repeat.
So yeah, for example, you have Music Brain's Picar, which is using Qt, and it shows you the good GTK file chooser. And I know there is a way to have the good one. So if you're willing to participate in the OpenShot development, you could point this out. And
I just pointed it out.
Yeah, yes, but not to us. We don't care.
No. You see, now it's your responsibility to inform the developer.
I don't use OpenShot. You're the user. You're the biggest user of OpenShot in the world. So you have to do your job and like participate.
If I am, where the hell's my T-shirt, man?
You'll get a T-shirt if you want a T-shirt. I'll try
waiting
to
for
make
it.
you
Hasn't
one.
showed up yet. I'm not believing you.
Is it all you want? A T-shirt?
Yep. Simple
okay,
man.
Well,
I'm a very simple man.
I'll get you a T-shirt.
Just some swag going. That'd be nice.
Be a good open source citizen. That's just all I'll ask. And I mean, I've done when I use things like the pop team. I was using the pop team and I found some issues. I sent a pull request. It was very simple. It was like a 2-line change, and the guy working on pop was, yeah, I've been wanting to do that in a while. Thanks. No, it's not that hard. Just contribute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Qt.
Shredder's looking up how to make it a T-shirt.
No.
No, I'm looking, but I'm Mathieu. So it's here, I think. This is one of the...
I still have those Walmart gift cards. I don't know. I think I might go back inside.
Those don't expire, right?
Okay.
No, they don't.
Here.
Those things are like 6 years old. I think somebody gave them to me because, I work on stuff and I don't take money from people. I'm just like, here, man, I'll just fix it for you. Don't worry about it. And I think somebody gave me those. And
yeah, it's not the look that's the issue. It's the functionality.
yeah, it's the functionality. I don't care about the skin pack, nerd. The functionality is not there.
Can you? I don't know if you can right-click with that old version of the Qt file chooser. If you can right-click and add it to the favorites, and it just adds that folder to the parent folder anyway.
It's not. Okay, I found it. Okay, see the top three
Nope.
links. I
No,
found
right-click a
Google.
folder on the actual content.
That's not what you want to do. You want to fix the actual program to. That's just a
Yeah,
hack.
you
don't
should be
want
able
hack.
to at least drag and drop one of those folders so you can have at least that, like the parent folder, whatever.
But that's not what you want to do. You want to fix the actual program to do the correct thing.
Until it's been fixed, you have something that gets it easier.
Yeah.
There
Okay,
it
so you
is.
see, I
Okay.
found.
Okay, that works. And it has the bonus of pissing off Strider. That's a win-win.
Yeah, so you make it work on your side, and you don't care about like the
Strider,
greater picture.
let me remind you about the anecdotal thing you mentioned in the show. Your
Which one?
particular use case does not equate to everyone else's. Okay?
Well, this is not a particular use case. I mean, the file chooser box is broken for everyone, and it needs fixing.
See, what it looks like in 1.4 is, I don't know, logical with my fucking
Yeah, that's
drives
GTK.
Yes,
there.
because this is a Qt, this is a GTK program, so it uses.
Oh,
a
really?
GTK.
You're telling me all the shit I already know.
Yes, but there is a way to make this consistent between GTK and Qt. If you look at Picard,
Yeah,
uses
there's an easy way. Quit using Qt.
No, this is not a solution. It's
Given
doing
the
Qt
choice
right.
between Qt and GTK, I'll take Qt.
Given the choice between pretty and speed, I'll take GTK.
This is not the point. This is not the point because both are fast and both are pretty.
Both can
if
be
you feed
themed.
them right.
Yes.
Yes. It's
Listen,
not the
boy,
point.
I fought during the widget set wars.
It's only a developer perspective. And now I have echo.
You have.
Okay, you want Amazon in your house? That's your problem. Listen, I don't.
Alexa!
I almost have that. I can enable Minecraft. Your Minecraft assistant is just starting up. Please wait.
See, yeah, I would set up Minecraft, but I would put it in like a 386, so it would take maybe like 45 minutes to get loaded.
And then you'd ask it, it was like, hold on, can you repeat that?
No, then it does the AT initialization for the dial-up modem.
Oh, yeah.
So, hey, Minecraft, which one is better, Qt or GTK?
Blam. You just see it go screeching out through the apartment.
Okay, Google. Which is better, Qt or GTK?
So I think they didn't catch that quite correctly because.
No, it didn't get that right.
See,
Which is better?
the pure genius about having an Android-enabled flip phone like that is people think you're mental. They're like, that doesn't have a voice. Oh, look at him pretending. Isn't he adorable? Do they come up and
okay,
pat you on
Google.
that?
What's the weather like outside?
Yeah, let's do WX Python. That'll be brilliant. Let's bring that back.
Oh no, it's muted. Hold on.
So let's see, KDE Live. KDE Live sure does use the Qt framework.
Okay, let's try it again. Okay, Google. What's the weather like outside?
It's 15 degrees and cloudy in Mirrors.
Or are you showing it off that I can figure out how to fucking weather, son? I mean, that's not really like people. It's 2017, Pedro. I hate to break this to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
so
KDE Live does this wrong as well.
Okay.
It shows the wrong.
You use
file
man.
figures.
Why are you telling me? Why don't you file a bug report?
Because this doesn't really bother me.
I don't know, man. You
I
sound
don't use
pretty
file
bothered.
pickers, I just-
You sound a little bothered. If I'm going to be honest.
I'm a little bothered, but I usually don't use the file pickers. I just drag and drop files into the program.
This is how you know this boy didn't start out on Linux. That doesn't even occur to me to drag and drop things.
Yeah, you can drag and drop most of everything now.
Yeah, those synapses were never formed in my brain. that stuff did not work for the longest time.
Yeah, I mean, I was from the Amiga world, so I like simple things, things that work,
Mm-hmm.
things that make sense, and good UI.
That's why you put Velveeta on your pizza, man.
Admittedly, I'll throw a bunch of cheeses at my pizzas too.
Velveeta's not cheese; it's cheese product.
Oh, it's that right? The cheese-like product.
Yeah, I haven't tried putting that on pizza.
That Jack's
Can't believe it's
expensive,
not cheese.
Oh, no one believes it's cheese. It's not. It's not even cheese colored. They add coloring to it because a semi-translucent gelatinous blob of something that remotely
Yes.
right.
It's the stuff you want to make nacho cheese because it doesn't get solid, and mac and cheese.
Yeah, but then you got to catch it, and
It's flubber cheese.
if it bites you, you got to go to the doctor.
What Qt program do I have?
I mean, right now I'm running a Qt desktop called Plasma 5.
Mm.
Yeah, but I'm looking for Qt stuff.
I have almost perfected my Franken desktop environment that it's a hybrid between Mate and KDE with just the KDE stuff I need, but uses Mate for just about everything else, and Compton for the compositing, obviously, because fuck KWin compositing, fuck it up the ass.
That is a Franken desktop.
Yeah. It's the Mate panel with the Mate desktop, but it uses Dolphin as the file manager, and it uses KWin as the window manager.
Fair enough.
Monster.
Because I like KWin as just the window manager because of the advanced window rules. If you hit Alt F3 in KWin, you can just set window rules, and you can set them to. You can literally turn any window into a full screen window.
Yeah, but you can have this. You know that in Ubuntu Mate you have Compass as well, so you could do that with Compass.
Yeah, that would involve me running Compass.
Sure.
Yes.
I mean,
Which,
maybe
with a
KWin is
double
bit-
monitor configuration, no.
Yeah, and Compass doesn't work well with wine games. That's the reason why I stopped using Unity.
That doesn't really bother me all that much. It's just that if you have two monitors on the exact same X session and you're using Compass, the moment you do something like start a GLX context on one of the monitors, the other one becomes unresponsive. And it does that Windows XP thing where you drag a window across and you get the smearing. That's Compass, ladies and gentlemen, 2017. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Compton
I mean,
hasn't Compton hasn't been updated since 2013, and it works better than Compass.
Yeah, but Compton is a much simpler.
Yeah, this one doesn't have the herky jerks on the input. I mean, here on the desktop it's fine, but yeah, it's struggling getting it transmogrified and over to OBS on the other system. Yeah.
There is a way that you can use one of the non-aggressive vsync methods like OpenGL SWC, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't lock your frame rate to 60, but it gets rid of that input delay between like dragging windows around and the way they get rendered on the other screens in case you have OBS running.
OBS.
I don't know if you're streaming yourself dragging screens around. People probably not watching, so I'm not really looking into it.
Huh. So VLC also has the wrong file picker.
Yeah. VLC does basically everything. They do it themselves. They have their own codecs. They can use the system codecs if you tell it to.
Yep. It's got the
Okay,
fugglies.
so I found it. And there is a fix for that. That means it could be fixed for OpenShot as well.
Linux Nuru, like I said, I'll nope you from orbit, son. Up to you.
You will get noped from the Discord.
Won't even feel bad about it. Oh, look at
So
that. It's
let's-
almost 4:30.
Oh yeah, I need to go make dinner. It's always
I
that
have-
time.
Okay,
All right.
first.
You tried to do something, Linux Nuru. You tried.
Keep poking, son. All right. That's going to do us, too.
Yes.
been
Well, thank you
awesome.
all very, very much.
Hail Santa.
Yeah.
I'll be back. We're probably going to be Jordan and I, and it might just be Jordan and I because it was a clusterfuck on Saturday when we had 4 people in that game. Because the game it just broke the poor game.
Yeah, and Flibbit was just up all night fixing stuff and releasing new patches.
Right. Apparently that he was informed.
Yes.
So, but more importantly, with 4 people, it was kind of impossible to see who was who, and so I think we might just stick with a 2-player stream with Jordan and I with that tomorrow. But we'll see you then. It'll be brilliant.
All right.
Cheers.
See ya.
Bye.